I was just looking at this Forest Glump 4K. No, I do not intend to buy it. I was just thinking because of the rubbish Atmos mixes, up mixes that is, that are coming out, and getting more understanding of what this all is. Um, from reading another post elsewhere that was stating by re-recording mixers that if they don't have the stem tracks, they can do what's called like really a decent mix. And so what they have to then do is a manual mix, which is what some of these mixes are all sounding like. They sound like just go in, pluck these channels out, and just do some manipulation, but they're not really adding anything really to the table. They're not bringing anything to the table. And I was just thinking, the original mix for this movie was not even that good. I mean, the rain sound effects and all that were all up front, not in the surround channel, in the stereo split surround channel. If you down mixed it, played it 424 matrix, of course you hear that rain because it's cross talking. But I was just thinking, life is like a speaker box of overhead surround. You just never know how much less of it you're going to get, and that is usually the case. Whether you buy 30 grand Trinov just to see a visual display moving things around, or I can have something simple and I can actually see the levels, the mix levels, because that is more or less the same. There's nothing different about it. You don't have to have a Trinov just to show off it's got all this thing moving around. That's just a waste of money, especially on gimmicks. And there's another re-recording or sound designer mixer that I usually talk to, chat with, and he even said that it's a gimmick. We're talking about Star Trek the Motion Picture, and because I'm a sucker for Star Trek original movies and such, and I'm thinking, oh, could you ask? And I'm thinking, oh, he doesn't know too many. And so I think, all right, I might do it. So I might send an email to find out whether it's a manual mix or if it's going into the stem tracks and creating a new overhead surround, and not butchering the rest of the sound mix in keeping the integrity, but creating some new overhead surrounds with the original soundtrack elements, because there's nothing disappointing than just you put all this effort into your overhead surrounds, yeah, especially these little mixing studios, and they invest in this, and they're just cheating themselves with creating a fake mix that is really in the Fair Trading Act. It's criminal to create something that is fake and that is not true. And I suppose if more people find out, oh, it's going to be a manual mix, not even worth touching, not worth touching. If it's going into the stem track, all the individual track elements, and so if there's a kind of sort of sound, you can kind of bring that out, sort of out of the side surrounds or wherever it is in the mix, the front, and kind of pan it and bring it up, but in a new by taking the stem track and just taking it and panning and create some sort of wormhole effect, or I don't know, and not just and not just like hearing the music like Total Recall, and you just hear the music on the overhead surround, there's no individuality in the music. It sounds like they just plucked it out of the flipping mix and just stuck it on the freaking overheads. And it's also got slight flaws in Total Recall where I can hear, because it utilizes height 1, 2, and 3, but I can hear certain crosstalk of Foley sound effects that are partly in the overhead, and that's a mistake because they're just going in and doing a manual mix. I understand it a little bit more now. A manual mix, rubbish. If it's going into the stem tracks, creating a total right off the bat, a-okay. But still, these overheads have got to be fully and absolutely utilised. Not just now and then. They got to be utilised artistically to create harmonistic effect and such, or sudden wow, or what the heck was that, you know? Yeah, and sometimes you notice it in some of these native mixes, you know. I was just thinking some of the worst Atmos mixes ever. I mean, one's coming to mind, that total, not that one with Tom Cruise, that rubbish movie, Oblivion. Oh god, that is rubbish. That is total waste of bloody time. The overheads are hardly used. Waste of time.